Hi, this is David, and I have a need to do a video today on things that I thought I would never see in my lifetime from the Mormon Church. They're actually changing their doctrine, and the members of the church are just a little bit ignorant of how this is being done. But the Mormon Church, I wanted to talk to you today on Brother JENSON, who is resigning as the church historian at the library the church owns, and also Professor BOTT, B-O-T-T, one of the renowned religion professors at Brigham Young University. Now, you that live outside Utah, you're not going to hear any of this stuff, and that's one reason that I publish, is that I think the church should be responsible for everything that it does. It makes people responsible for everything they say and do. Why shouldn't they be responsible? Well, let me give you just a synopsis. JENSON, who is considered a general authority, said in a newscast that the Mormon Church is having more people leave it, and he called it an apostasy. I guess I'm part of the apostasy. I think more people are just reading the internet and finding the truth out about the church. But he said it's more people leaving, and the brethren are aware of it. Now, that means that Monson and the boys and Packer, they all know that people are leaving the church in droves. And they don't have 14 million in a million years. And he said it's the worst apostasy since Kirtland. Now, Kirtland, Ohio, was the beginning, pretty much, of the church when Joseph stole money by printing monopoly money and giving it to the members, and the members giving him real money, and then him promising them that they'll make big money. And they didn't. They lost their ass, and they ran Joseph's ass on a horse out of town there in Kirtland. So JENSON has made some just outrageous, according to the church, comments. He's just simply being truthful, but you can't do that when you're a Mormon authority. Well, he's retired, so I don't know if they can pull his pension or they can excommunicate him. I don't know. I just don't know what the intricacy workings are when you get a general authority that shoots his mouth off like that and tells the truth. So anyway, JENSON is telling the truth, and the Mormon Church is lying. It doesn't have 14,100,000 people. It has about 4 or 5 million people worldwide that have anything to do with the Mormon Church. So they continue to lie. JENSON tells the truth, and time will only tell, and I'll tell. When I see it here in Salt Lake City, I'll report it to the world. You know, it's not like, I'm reporting to 10 million people, but there's been 30,000 of you that have looked at my videos and have hopefully picked up some information. So the other one is even more outrageous. And this one here, the Mormon Church made an immediate press statement. They seldom have ever done that. Usually they just keep quiet and they hope that it will just die down. But with Mitt Romney running for president, they had to say something. And it's obvious that the Mormon Church is behind Mitt Romney, and the members are donating money and voting at the polls. And it shows good for Romney for the candidate, but not for the general election. Black people aren't going to vote for a Mormon. But anyway, BOTT said this. Now, he's pretty old. He's probably my age, maybe 60, 65. And he's renowned as a religion professor at BYU. He's been there decades and decades. And he knows the truth historically about the Mormon Church, just like I do. If you've only been in your 20s and 30s, you don't know shit about this organization. You don't know anything. But after 65 years here, 64 years for me, and BOTT, we've seen it. Now, BOTT said something that is true. It's absolutely true. And the Mormon Church says, it's not true, it's false. So here it is. BOTT said that basically the blacks didn't have the priesthood because God was protecting them. Now, this was taught. I was in those classes. These eyes and these ears heard what BOTT said. It was taught. It was doctrine. And it was the excuse of why the blacks couldn't get the priesthood and be in full fellowship in the Mormon church. It was they were children. They sat on the fence in the pre-existence. Now, I don't know if that was a vinyl fence or the Berlin Wall. I don't know what it was. But the Mormons say they sat on the fence and they couldn't decide whether they wanted to go with Satan or they wanted to go with Jesus. Well, there's more bullshit for you. But he said what was true. Historically in the Mormon church, we, and I'm resigned now, have said that the blacks couldn't fall that much from grace because they didn't hold the priesthood. And when you hold the priesthood and you fall, you fall right to the bottom. So as long as we kept them on the bottom of the ladder, they couldn't fall. And he said something about it was like giving car keys to a young child. Well, the blacks aren't too happy with those statements, and the Mormon church went bullshit. I'm telling you, they're like a government. They act very slowly, but they didn't hear because of Romney. So they put out a statement, a public statement, that said, we do not approve of discrimination at any time or any place. Now, think of that. The Mormon church is now condemning their own prophets who have allowed and perpetuated discrimination against black people. I've never thought I would live long enough to see it. It's a sneaky apology. It's kind of a left-handed compliment. But the fact is that any of the Mormon prophets who ruled until 1978, the church is saying no. We don't approve of any kind of discrimination now or in the past. Well, that's as close of an apology as you're ever going to see from the Mormon church. But boy, they got their tail between their legs on this one because they've got a very renowned religious professor in religion at BYU. What are they going to do? Excommunicate him? There's a protest now at BYU. I don't know how big it is. I think it's more of an internet. Because on the internet, the Mormon church can't get you. If you're walking around BYU, those bastards will grab you, throw your ass out of the church. But anyway, there's some bold and patriotic, I guess, BYU students who are protesting that, yeah, this was taught. And for the Mormon church to say it was never taught and it was just speculation by the members, here's what I've said over and over and over in my videos. There is an underground Mormon church that you can't find very much written. You can't find very much documented. But the members know. The members know what the rules are. And what the church does is let them speculate, and then they support them. But then when they get caught speculating on these kinds of crazy doctrines, the church has a plausible deniability. They can say, well, we never taught that. Well, Brigham Young taught that you would cut the heads off of black people and their white counterparts and their children if they ever intermarried. Now, is this statement from the church today meaning that Brigham Young should never have said those things? That he wasn't a prophet? Oh, they'll say, oh, he was talking as a man. Well, was he? The church continued not to let, under Brigham Young and many other prophets, the black people not to have the priesthood. So it's an interesting thing how they're trying to spin it and twist and turn it. So between JENSON saying that the population is shrinking more dramatically than it ever has before, and that BOTT saying that basically the blacks were not valiant, that they sat on the fence and couldn't make up their minds, so God sent them to earth with the priesthood being denied so they can't fall into hell. We were protecting them. So anyway, if you believe that stuff, believe it. But I'm just going to report it that I lived long enough to see it, that it was doctrine, it was taught, and it was well accepted until Mitt Romney ran for office. And now they're just scrambling. They're just scrambling, and these things are going to keep popping up and popping up until November. And I predict a landslide for Obama. I'm really going on record for that. And I'm predicting that some of these 14-year-old marriages and the treatment of black people and temple rituals and rites under the penalty of death, some of these things are going to pop out. And when they do, the world is going to go, what? What? We can't have a president like that. So that's my political insight. But I just wanted you to know the blacks have always been treated inferior. And just look at the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Just turn on the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Don't listen to anybody. Don't read. Just look at the Mormon Tabernacle Choir and then tell me and yourself that the Mormons love the black people and they're fully integrated. Thanks.